Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing IGCSE Physics May June 2024 MCQ paper, that is paper 23. Now, let's start with the first question. A student measures the volume of a small irregularly shaped cone. Which apparatus must be used? So we simply need to measure the volume only. Now in order to measure the volume only, you will need the measuring cylinder. So, which apparatus must be used? A measuring cylinder containing water only. Option B will be the correct answer. Which quantity is a vector quantity? We know that energy is scalar, mass is a scalar quantity, temperature also is a scalar quantity. So, electric field strength will be the vector quantity. Now, an athlete runs 2.4 kilometers in 12 minutes. All right, what is the average speed? So we have to determine the speed in meters per second. So speed is distance over time. I will write this 2.4 into 10 to the power 3 and 12 times 60. This will give me the answer in seconds and this will be in meters. Now if you solve it, if you put it in the calculator, the answer will come out to be exactly 3.3 meters per second. So option B is the correct answer. The graph shows the speed of a car changing during a period of 50 seconds, all right. Which row gives the greatest acceleration and greatest deceleration? So, this is a speed time graph, and we know that the gradient or slope of speed time graph gives acceleration. So, when we have to figure out the greatest acceleration, we will look at the greatest gradient. And acceleration is this because the velocity is increasing. So we will find the gradient of this. That will be change in y over change in x. So that is 20 over 15. 4 over 3. That is 1.3. So we have to pick between option C and D. Now we pick the greatest deceleration. So the greatest decrease. The greatest decrease looks like this one. So you find the gradient here. This gradient you have to find. So simply do change in y over change in x again. What is the change in y? You're going from 15 to 0. So what is the change in y? 15. And what is the change in x? 45 to 50 you're going. So 5. 15 over 5 is 3. So the deceleration will be 3, acceleration is 1.3. You simply had to take the gradient here. In the greatest acceleration, you had to take the gradient of this because this is the greatest acceleration and greatest deceleration is this one, so you take the gradient of this. Next question, which statement about gravitational field strength G is correct? So we know that weight is equals to m times gravitational field strength. Now they're saying G is equals to, according to the formula, J should be equals to weight over mass. Are they saying weight over mass? No, this is incorrect. Now they're saying gravitational field strength is mass into weight. Gravitational field strength is weight over mass, not mass into weight. This is also incorrect. Gravitational field strength is defined as mass per unit force. So they are saying it is mass per unit force. No, it is newtons per unit mass. So this is also incorrect. Option D will be the correct one. In the statement C, they're saying gravitational field strength is mass per unit force. So they're saying mass per unit weight. Is it the formula? No. The formula is weight over mass. So that is why incorrect. Now, next question. Which property of an object cannot be changed by applying forces? So see, by applying force, you can change the shape, speed, volume, acceleration, deceleration, direction. All these things you can change. But you cannot change the mass of an object. So option A will be the correct one. Next question. A small ball of mass 0.1 kg travels horizontally at a speed of this much. It strikes a wooden block of 1.9 kg. All right. So the situation is like this, that you have a ball 0.19 kg and it is going with a speed of 600 meters per second. Then there is a stationary wooden block 0 meters per second is the velocity, and it has a mass of, see, wooden block is 1.9 kg, the ball is only 0.1 kg. So this is 0.1. Then it says that when they collide together, both of them start moving with a combined velocity. So their mass will combine, which will be 2 kg, and now they have a velocity combined that you have to find. So this is a question of momentum conservation. We know that total initial momentum before collision will be equal to the total momentum after collision. And the total momentum before collision is 0.1 into 600 plus 1.9 into the velocity of the block, that is 0. That will be equals to final. So final is 2 times velocity combined. So this will be 60 is equals to 2 times combined velocity. So combined velocity is 60 over 2, that is 30 meters per second. So the correct answer is A. Starting with question number 8, an object is taken underwater, will be damaged if the total pressure acting on it is greater than 2.1 megapascals. Then they're asking what is the maximum depth that the object can be taken underwater before it breaks. So for this, we know one simple formula that change in pressure is equals to density into gravitational field strength into the change of height, right? Change of pressure will be 2.1 times 10 to the power 6 minus the atmospheric pressure, which is 101,000, is equals to density they have given you 1000, and the gravitational field strength we are taking as 9.8 into h. So this is 21 into 21 lakhs, and this is nearly 1 lakh 1000. Let's try to solve this. So 21 lakhs minus 1 lakh 1000, the answer is coming out to be 203.9. If you solve all of this and you make h as the subject, the answer is coming out to be 203.9 meters. So you can say 204 meters. That is why option B is the correct one. Now, question number 9. A piece of solid metal melts to become a liquid, all right? Melts to become a liquid, so melting is going on here, and solid is densely packed, liquid is less densely packed. How do the particles of metal or their behavior change? So they're simply asking you that metal was earlier in solid state, now you have melted it, now it is in liquid state. So what is the difference between their behavior? Earlier it was fixed at the position, now it can move. Now the liquid molecules can move. So they increase in size? No. They move around each other? This statement is correct. They move much further apart. This happens in gases. And they vibrate more about fixed position? No. The vibration mainly happens in solids. So the correct answer will be option number B. Now, next question. Brownian motion of particles is observed. Which statement describes the movement of the particles? So Brownian motion, we know that they move completely in random directions. So first of all, statement 2 is correct. The particles all travel along a curved path. No, they move in random directions. So curved path is not a possibility. The particles will all travel in the same direction. Again incorrect. Brownian motion is random motion of particles without a fixed direction. So it cannot be a same direction. Only statement 2 is correct. So option number D is correct. Now, question number 11. There is a fixed mass of gas, all right, and so that the volume decreases at a constant temperature. So this is a case of Boyle's law, which says that if temperature is kept as constant, then PV will be equals to constant, meaning pressure will be inversely proportional to volume. When temperature is kept constant, then PV is constant, so pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Now in this case, the volume is decreasing, so the pressure will increase. Now just think about it, if the pressure is increasing, We know that the frequency of collisions will increase because the particles are closer together now. Earlier they were in like this, now they are coming closer because the pressure has increased. So the frequency of collisions will increase. So more often is the frequency of collisions, and it is written in option C and D. But in option C it is saying greater velocity, in option D it is saying same velocity. So how do we differentiate between these two? Velocity is affected only when the temperature is changed. And is there any change in temperature? No. So the option D will be the correct one. Now, moving on to the next question. Again, this is a case of Boyle's law only. They're clearly stating that temperature does not change. So if the temperature is constant, we just studied that pressure will be inversely proportional to volume. Now, how does a inverse graph look like? Does it look like this? No. Does it look like this? No. Does it look like this? No. This is a inverse graph because at this point pressure is highest but the volume is lowest. At this point volume is highest, pressure is lowest. This is an inverse graph. So option B is the correct answer. Next question. The liquid level in a thermometer rises and they're asking what is the reason of this? Why does the liquid level in the thermometer rises? What causes it? Because the liquid expands. Thermal expansion is there. When objects gain heat or when objects gain energy, they start expanding. Liquid thermometer is the same case. So option C is the correct one. Question 14. Which statement describes what happens as ice is melting? So see, in this case, state change is taking place. And in state change, change of temperature is zero. So the energy goes to break the bonds. All right. Energy is absorbed, or you could say it is used to break the bonds. Now, it is going from ice to water. Ice has less energy, water has more energy in terms of temperature. Ice temperature is very low, water's temperature is more. So, ice must be absorbing energy and the temperature must stay constant during state change. So, the option A is the correct one. Now, question 15. Which row explains how increasing the surface area of a fixed volume? So, see, if a fixed volume is there, number of molecules cannot increase. Now, if you check option A and B, it is saying total number of water molecules is increasing. How is this possible? Volume is fixed, so the number cannot increase. Option A and B automatically gets incorrect. Now, increases the number of water molecules close to the surface. Surface area definitely does this. The surface area increases the number of water molecules close to the surface. So this statement is correct and this is also the same, so this is also correct. So we have to differentiate between the blowing air over the surface point. Now, increases the energy in the kinetic energy store of the liquid water? No. It removes water molecules from above the surface of water. Yes, this is the correct answer. So, option number 15 is correct. Sorry, option D for the 15th question is correct. Now, question number 16. They've given you a data that P is a gas and Q is a liquid, R is a solid. It contains delocalized electrons, all right. They're asking that using this information, which comparison of the thermal conduction? We know that thermal conduction is done mainly by metals because they have free electrons, right? So option R clearly tells you that delocalized electrons are here and it is a solid. So this will be the best conductor, right? Now let's check the options. So the thermal conduction is better in R than in Q and P. This is correct. R is the best one. So this is saying Q is better than R. Incorrect. This is saying S is better than R. Incorrect. Now let's check option A. It is better in P than in Q and S. So it is saying gas is a good conductor than solid. That is S. S is one of the solids. It is not possible. Even though solid does not have delocalized electrons, but still, if you compare a solid with a gas, solid will always be a good conductor. Right? So option C is correct. Why option C is correct? Because it has free electrons and it's a solid. So it is the best option. That is why C ultimately is the answer. Now, next question. A seismic wave has a frequency and a speed is also given. We know this equation that V equals to F times lambda, frequency times wavelength, and we make the wavelength as the subject. So it will be V by F. How much is the V? 10 kilometers per second divided by what is the frequency? 5. We know that frequency's unit is per second. So hertz will get cancelled with second and this will be 2. So the answer will be 2 meters, 2 kilometers, sorry. Option C is the correct one. 5 hertz can also be written as 5 second inverse. So the unit second will get cut in both. The answer will be kilometers. Now, question number 18. Sound waves will diffract when going through a gap, alright. Which size of wavelength gives the most diffraction? We know that the greater the wavelength, the better it is. And if it is not greater, it should at least be equal to the gap size. Alright. So small wavelength is out of the options. Wavelength similar to gap size, wavelength similar to gap size. So we have to discuss passing the edge of a barrier. Now you know that the wavelength should be large. So option D is the correct answer. Large in both cases provides the best diffraction. A boy is having his eyes tested. A letter is printed on a card placed over his head. He sees the card in a plane mirror placed in front of him. He sees the letter R. So it will just appear to be shifted towards the left. That is why the answer will be B. Now, next question, question number 20. A ray of light is refracted as it enters air from glass as shown. Alright. What is the speed of light in glass? For this, we know some formulas. First of all, let's put Snell's law. N1 sin I is equals to N2 sin R. And we also know that N1 over N2 is equals to V2 over V1. Right? Now let me just try to rearrange this. N2 over N1 is equals to sin I over sin R. And N2 over N1 is also equals to V1 over V2. Now you take this and this, just equate both of them. V1 over V2 is equals to sin I over sin R. V1 is the speed of light in medium number 1. What is the medium number 1? That is glass. Huh. You're going from glass to air. So the medium one is glass. So let's say I'll write it as Vg. And the second medium is air. Velocity of light in air is 3 times 10 to the power 8. Sin I, just take care of this. The angle will be this. This will be angle of incidence, which is 30 degrees. So sin 30 over refraction angle will be this only. So sin 50. So the velocity of light in glass, if you solve this, it will come out to be 2 times 10 to the power 8 meters per second. This is the correct answer. A converging lens is being used as a magnifying glass, alright. So we know that the last case of converging lens, which is this one, this is the principal focus. When you place the object here, and this is another principal focus. So one light ray goes like this, it passes through the focus. Let me just erase this. I'll draw the rough diagram. There's a principal focus. One light ray goes like this, another principal focus. So it passes through here. One goes from the center. Then what we do is we retrace the light rays backwards. Then the image formed is this one, right? So the image is further away from the lens than the object is. Object is only this much away from the lens, image is this much away. So this statement is correct. The image is inverted. No, this is the only case of convex lens where the image is upright. This is incorrect. It is a real image? No, it's a virtual image. The object must be placed at the principal focus. No, it should be placed between principal focus and the center. Between, not at. Incorrect. Option A is the correct one. Next question. Which colors of visible light are in correct order? We know that Vibgyor is the increasing order of wavelength. So, indigo, green, red. Option C is the correct one. You can check it. You can try with all of them. Only option C will be the correct one. Red has the highest wavelength. Now, the diagrams show three types of electromagnetic radiation. In a particular order, the electromagnetic radiation is traveling in a vacuum. Which quantities increase? We know that X-rays have the most energy except the gamma rays, right? So we can clearly see here that the frequency is increasing. And the frequency increases, energy will also increase. And speed is the same. For all EM waves, speed is 3 times 10 to the power 8. So we need to pick the option with only frequency. That is option number B. Now, next question. You have to tell the speed of sound in different medium. You know that speed of sound increases with density. Solids are the dense ones out of liquid and gas. So solids will have the most speed. So in iron it will be 5100. In water it is nearly 1500 and in air it is nearly 340. This is the correct answer. The same values are given in the syllabus guide. Just make sure to remember them from the syllabus guide. Question number 25. Two small compass are placed close to a bar magnet. We know that the tip of a bar magnet points towards the North Pole and the bottom tail part points towards the South Pole. Now see, if this is North Pole, the tip should be pointing away because North Pole repels North Pole, like poles repel each other. So this is incorrect. This is North Pole and the tip is pointing away. This section is correct. This section also looks correct. Option D itself is incorrect. Now we have to differentiate between C and B. This is North Pole and this is pointing towards South. North pointing towards South. That is attraction. So this option is correct. And we know that the tail points towards South. South pointing towards South. It is not possible. A lot of repulsion will be there. So option B is the correct one. So there are some statements about magnetic field. We have to figure out which one is the correct one. A magnetic field is described as a region in which stationary electric charge. No. This is the definition for electric field, not magnetic field. Incorrect. The direction of magnetic field at a point is the direction of the force on South Pole. No, it is the direction of force on the North Pole at that point. So statement 2 is also incorrect. The relative strength of magnetic field is shown by spacing of the magnetic field lines. This is correct. Closer the magnetic field lines, the stronger they will be. So only statement 3 is correct, which is option number D. Question 27. A student rubs a plastic cloth with a rod, alright. The rod becomes electrically charged and the rod is attracted by a negatively charged object. Just think about it. If the rod is attracted by negative charge, it means the rod must have become positive. And if it became positive, it must have lost electrons. So it is positively charged because it lost electrons. If X is getting attracted to something which is negative in nature, means X is positive. Why is it positive? Because it lost electrons. Option D is the correct one. Question number 28. This question is asking us about the direction of conventional current and the direction of flow of electrons. We know that conventional current flows from positive to negative terminal of battery, and the flow of electrons is from negative terminal to the positive terminal of the battery. Then the longer portion is the positive one, shorter is the negative terminal. Now, current is going from positive to negative. This is correct. But they're also showing that electrons are going the same way. This option is incorrect. Current should go like this, but it is showing the opposite way. Incorrect. Current should go like this. It is going the opposite way. Incorrect. Now, let's check this question. B option. Current should be going positive to negative and electron should be going like this, negative to positive. So option B is the correct one. A cell has an electromotive force. How much energy is transferred when this much charge is there? We know that voltage is equals to work done by charge. So work done is equals to voltage into charge. How much voltage do we have? 1.5. How much charge do we have? 6. Answer will be 9 joules. Work done as a unit of joules. 9 joules. Question number 30. This question, a metal resistance wire of length L, area is this and resistance is R. Now we know that resistance is directly proportional to length, inversely proportional to area. So what is the resistance of a metal wire of the same material that has a length 2L? So they have double the amount of length, means the resistance will double, and area they have done half. So if they've made the area as half, means the resistance will double. So answer according to basic maths will be 4R. But if you need the proof of this, we have one formula that R1 over R2 is equals to L1 over L2, which is times A2 over A1. R1 I am keeping it R. R2 let's keep it as R new. So I am writing Rn. What is L1? L. L2 is 2L. What is area 2? It is A by 2. And what is area 1? That is A only. Now you can cancel out L, L, A. So R times 4 is equals to R into N, R new. So ultimately this will also give the same answer. That option D is the correct one. Question 31. This is one of the good questions. You can see here that this is a light dependent resistor and this is a thermistor. And this is a diode. The same diode is here. We need current to flow through the diode. So we need this connection to close up. Currently it is open, so the diode is not working. We need that connection to close up. So just think about it. We need to get the potential difference more here so that this will start behaving as a magnet and it will attract this. So the circuit will be completed. Right? Now we know that if the light intensity increases, the resistance in the LDR decreases, right? Now, in this case, the resistance here is decreasing. So we can say overall resistance is decreasing. And if the overall resistance is decreasing, overall current must be increasing. Now, if overall current is increasing, we will apply Ohm's law to the fixed resistor. So V is equals to I into R. In fixed resistor, resistance is constant. So we can say V directly proportional to I. And if current is increasing, the voltage here must also increase, right? And if the voltage here is increasing, it must be decreases in the LDR because it's a series circuit. In series circuit, if voltage across one component increases, it decreases across the other one. So if you're saying that the voltage across fixed resistor is increasing, it must be decreasing across the LDR. Now if this is decreasing, so this will not work. So for LDR, you need light intensity to be low. So option B and D. Now let's work for the thermistor. So the figure number 2, circuit number 2 we have to understand now. Now let's check. See. In thermistor, the same concept applies. And hear me out carefully. This is quite conceptual and a lot of steps are there. Just think about it. In a thermistor, if the temperature increases, the resistance will decrease. Alright. So if the resistance is decreasing, we can say resistance overall must also be decreasing. It means current overall must be increasing, right? And if the overall current is increasing, now you apply Ohm's law to fix resistor. You know that V is equals to IR and V directly proportional to R if R is constant and R is constant in a fixed resistor. Now you are saying that the current is increasing. Now you are saying that the current is increasing. So voltage must also be increasing, right? And if the voltage across the fixed resistor, this is the fixed resistor now. If the voltage across this is increasing, thermistor is in series with this. So across the thermistor, it must be decreasing. But this is of no use to us. If the voltage here is increasing, it must be increasing here as well because these are in parallel. Now this will get attracted. So temperature high will be required here. So option B will be the correct one. A bit conceptual, just think about it carefully. It's one of the good questions. Now, 100% efficient transformer, we know the formulas that Vp Ip is equals to Vs Is. So Vp Ip is equals to Vs Is. This is the 100% efficient transformer formula. Then the general formula that Np over Ns is equals to Vp over Vs. So we can say Vp over Np is equals to Vs over Ns. Right? Both of them are the same thing. So option A is the correct one. Question 33. Neutral atom, so the number of positive particles must be same as electrons. I can see two positive here, two protons here and two electrons here. This looks correct. Two protons here, one electron. No, this is not an atom, this is an ion. Two protons, one electron. Again, this is an ion. One proton, two electron. Again, this is an ion. So option A is the correct one. Because the number of protons are the same as electrons. Nuclear fission is when a heavy nucleus splits to form smaller nuclei. So if you look at option D, splitting of a nucleus to create two smaller nuclei. This is the correct one. Nuclear fission is not merging up of, no. And the process by which electrons are removed, this is ionization, not nuclear fission. Process by which stars generate an energy, this is also not nuclear fission. So the option D will be the correct one. Next question, diagram represents the path of three layers. We can clearly see here that Y is undeflected. So this must be gamma radiation here. And out of alpha and beta radiation, we know that alpha is the most ionizing. And it also has a high momentum because it is having a high mass. So if high momentum is there, it will be difficult to stop alpha. So Z must be the alpha. It will definitely get deflected because it has charge, but it will get deflected less because it has high momentum. So Z is the most strongly ionized, Z is the alpha particle, Y is the gamma radiation, X is the beta particle. Beta is electron, so it is very mass light mass is there, so it will get deviated very fast. Question 36. We have to identify which one is used where. So we know that alpha particles are used in smoke alarms. So option C and D, A and B can be cancelled out. Beta particles are used in measuring the thickness of paper. So only this option. So option C is the correct one. And then you can also cross check whether the gamma radiation is used as a tracer. Yes, gamma radiation is used as a tracer to kill the cancer, to detect the cancer. So option C ultimately is the correct one. Next question they're asking, why are the radioactive sources stored in lead? Because lead does not allow the emissions to pass through. It absorbs all of them. So which option looks correct? Option A. Lead does not decrease the half-life. Lead increases the half-life? No. Lead repels? No. Lead absorbs all of it. It is highly dense. Lead is highly dense. That is why it absorbs. Question number 38. The average distance from Earth to the Sun is this. What is the orbital speed? We know that orbital speed is 2 pi r by time, and 2 times 3.14 into 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 by time. You have to be careful here. They have mentioned day. So in a year, how many days are there? 365. So you lose only 365. Plus one more point. This is in meters. So you will have to use this in kilometer because the units are in kilometers. So it will be 1.5 into 10 to the power 8. So in place of 11, use 8. When you solve this value, you will get option C as the correct one. Now, next question. Question number 39. In which order are the objects listed formed during the life cycle of a star? Okay. We know that the protostar is the first one. So option C and D gets cancelled out. Protostar is there. Then a main sequence star is there, which is the stable star. Red giant, then supernova is there. Alright, so option B is the correct one. This in order is written in the syllabus guide. Make sure to have a look there. Correct answer will be B here. Now, next question. What is the distance traveled by light in 1 year? And the units are in kilometer meter. So let's try. Speed is equals to distance by time. Speed of light is 3 times 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Distance, let's say we are not aware, I'll keep it as x. Time will be 365 times 60 times 60 times 24. So if we do 3 times 365 times 60 times 60 times 24 times 10 to the power 8, the answer will come out to be nearly C. Let's also cross check this. So 365 times 60 times 60 times 24 times 3. This is coming out to be 94608,000 times 10 to the power 8. So now this gives you the idea why C is the correct answer. You can just shift the decimal places and you will get the option C. Alright. So this was the paper. We have completed IGCSE Physics May June, the 23 series. Of year 24, we have done the 23rd series. In case of any doubts, make sure to let me know. You can just write your doubt in the comment section. I'll be happy to reply. All right.